SA Commuter Radio is your South African connection, bringing South Africans together from around the world. Tune in to www.sacommuter.com and listen to some great content from South Africans, for South Africans, to South Africans all around the world. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and listen to the live shows on www.sacommuter.com between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Live, love, listen. SA Commuter Radio.
And you're with Geniene Preston of SA Commuter TV. We're at Meetings Africa 2022. And I bumped into Mark Jakins of Premier Hotels. And Mark and I go a long way back, so it was really nice to see him again. I go a long way back. Hi Mark, how are you?
I'm very well, and you?
I'm good, thank
nice
you.
to see you.
Yeah, it's been forever.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to have rock and roll at Indaba, and Meetings Africa was
Exactly.
always busier, and then we lost 2 years.
We lost 2 years, nearly 3 years of our
Was it
life.
nearly
It's
3
taking
years?
so long to come back.
Jeez.
But-
How's the hotel industry? I'm nosy.
Are you
Tell me.
nosy?
Oh, very.
Okay. So maybe just to go back a step, obviously the last 2 years have been very tough for the industry. So South Africa and SADC regions, in fact the whole of Africa, lost its entire international market. So we had to rely on domestic leisure, a little bit of corporate and a little bit of government to bring it back. And Premier Hotels and Resorts, which owns 25 properties throughout South Africa, and we've got ambitions to grow throughout the African
Is that
continent.
Southern Africa or South
Africa. So we are at the moment trying to secure some new management contracts and franchise agreements throughout Africa. But be that as it may, we are now seeing a little bit of green shoots coming back at a lot of our resorts and properties, which is fantastic. So corporate and government business is showing a little bit more confidence. We're picking up a little bit of international small series ad hoc groups as well as FITs coming in.
Okay.
And it's been fantastic to receive good support from the African continent. Countries such as Kenya, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Namibia are still traveling into South Africa and vice versa, hopefully. So we're quietly confident that in the next few months, providing that there's no fifth wave, I think, and providing that the macro, let's call it the socio-political climate with the Russian grief.
The Russian-Ukraine.
Yes, the Russian-Ukrainian conflict will peter out hopefully soon and deep, because people are afraid to travel.
I know,
from Europe
if
and
it's
that,
not
and it's costing
COVID,
us,
absolutely.
Yeah. So
I
we
mean-
feel very, very sorry for the Russian and Ukrainian communities, but we do believe that the tourism climate needs to stabilize. But again, now we've got a double whammy with the COVID and with international conflict. So,
And we're still expected to survive.
Yeah. So as I said, I think we've seen green shoots. Business is slowly coming back, and people are coming back into the employment of the various hospitality, airline, tourism companies, which is fantastic. So I think also, and stop me if I'm speaking too much, but
Oh no, listen, it's wonderful
Yeah.
to hear
Yeah.
somebody so elaborate about their product.
yeah, but I think we did a lot of work during COVID on our digital content platforms. We promoted our product all over Africa and internationally. So we told people about our product, and we also spent a lot of money, ironically, self-funded from our owner, Mr. Sam Nazimov. We spent money improving the quality of certain brands. In Sandton, we built 2 new hotels in Umhlanga. We opened up a beautiful new Kadisak property on the south coast of KwaZulu-Natal. Very, very tight in terms of money constraints, but we've developed beautiful products that we're very proud of to welcome international tourists back again.
Again, absolutely.
So that's our story.
How do you find the domestic market is now? Because obviously after COVID, we started to rely more heavily on domestic tourism.
Yes.
Has the domestic tourism rallied as much as you would have liked it to,
Very
or
much
have you
so.
found that it's been a bit slow?
No, very
uptake?
much so. There's been a little bit of a pent-up demand for domestic leisure travel. Families are looking to explore South African game reserves at favourable rates, mountainous regions, coastal regions, and that's certainly helped from a revenue and a sustainability point of view for a lot of tourism businesses in South Africa.
Do you find that domestic travellers like to have a package, or do they travel for overnight or a couple of days and don't collaborate with car hire or attractions nearby? Do you find that they like the whole package deal when they travel?
I think they enjoy coming to, let me talk from a hospitality establishment point of view. So if you're going up to Sani Pass in the Drakensberg to one of our resorts, they like to take advantage of an all-in package where you can leave their wallet in their pocket and take advantage of it, go up the mountain pass, do a little bit of fun golf, mountain paragliding, horse riding, etc., which all should be built into the excursions with children's packages. A lot of self-drives, so a lot of the car rental companies are only now starting to benefit from a little bit of imagination, a little bit of support from a money point of view. Domestic airlines like FlySaf Air, Airlink have actually benefited a lot from the domestic leisure market, and that sustained them when corporate and government traffic was very much down. And obviously it's quite seasonal, so you see a lot of traffic over weekends, public holidays, and over the sort of Easter, Christmas periods, which has sustained a lot of the tourism industry.
Do you find that in terms of when the domestic market travels, they travel obviously with family and they like to travel? Do you have a loyalty program that says, hey, we stayed at Premier Hotels in East London, we'd love to stay with you again in Bloemfontein, we have a loyalty program?
Yes, yes, we launched a loyalty program during COVID, which we're gradually developing. It's quite a high-tech program with nice, simple tiered rewards. And certainly that's geared to suit more the corporate and government and people traveling around the country on business. But they in turn want to redeem their rewards for leisure stays for their families. And in answer to your question about family travel, it's also about couples. It's about exploring, with your parents or with your nuclear family or your expanded family, just getting to know each other again without necessarily having to go offshore and spending pounds or euros or dollars, whatever the case might be. So,
and I think we certainly we stand up above the rest because we live in such a beautiful country. We certainly, I think, we're definitely better than Europe. And although the UK and Europe's got a lot of history, great to visit.
Yes.
I also think visiting South Africa keeps my rands in
our currency is still great value for money.
Absolutely.
In meals, restaurants, accommodation,
and we have better
flights.
food anyway.
We do. And we've got a lot of talented people, a lot of natural people who love welcoming domestic tourists. So I honestly believe that 2022 is going to be a dynamic year for tourism, not only in South Africa but in the African continent. I think hopefully by the second half of this year we should be back to sort of pre-COVID levels, 2019 if we're lucky. And long may that last, Bruce. It sustains employment. It keeps people happy, it keeps people motivated, and travel is all about experiences and memories for life. And that's what it's about.
Your social media, just to catch up on social media, I know that seems to be a big thing with hospitality is sharing photos, videos, memories on social media. Do you benefit a lot from that, or do you find an older market moving away from social media?
Everybody loves it. So if you're bringing alive Cape Town, for example, it's not just about the hotel or about the airport, it's about the Sea Point Promenade or the waterfront or a cable car up Table Mountain, to the Knysna Heads and the lagoon and all that. That's what, and to golf courses. And to share that content now more than ever because of COVID around the world, I think that's done tremendously well for our SA tourism and everything that we're doing. So, and I know Kenya are doing it, I know Ghana are doing it, and I know a lot of other countries are doing it. Mauritius have been hard at work on that as well, despite their borders being closed. Seychelles, etc. Even Zanzibar.
Wow. And even after Manga's not flying there anymore. So tell me a little bit, just in closing, where do you see Premier Hotels going in the near future?
So Premier Hotels and Resorts now operates mainly 4-star properties, but we've also got some amazing 3-star properties as well in the hotel and resort space. We now have a national footprint across South Africa. So as I said at the beginning of this chat, we are now determined to expand our footprint in other towns and cities in South Africa, possibly with management and franchise agreements. We think we've got a beautiful formula and a beautiful brand, and ultimately into Africa. So it's time now for Southern African brands to shine and not just rely on these global brands. And I think we can add a lot of Africanism and really create some magic from the values that we can export from South Africa into different African countries. And that's my hope for the Premier brand going forward.
And certainly in closing, it's great to see a South African brand growing as opposed to narrowing the field. You're
Yes.
actually expanding the field.
So hopefully next time we see each other, you'll see us in 2 or
World
3 other
domination.
countries. Thank
Mark,
you.
it's been such a pleasure to
Thanks
catch
for the
up.
opportunity.
Thank you so
very
much.
Thanks.
I'm Geniene from SA Commuter TV.
SA Commuter Radio is your South African connection, bringing South Africans together from around the world. Tune in to www.sacommuter.com and listen to some great content from South Africans, for South Africans, to South Africans all around the world. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and listen to the live shows on www.sacommuter.com between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Live, love, listen. SA Commuter Radio.